Welcome to the first ever CO3 Podcast. Today, I'm with my co-host Mark,
Heyo. Happy to be here, Ian.
and we're going to talk about Game Pass. So, Xbox Game Pass is the subscription service from Microsoft that includes everything related to Xbox. So, you're going to get games with streaming as well as local downloads. They do have it for PC and Xbox. And what we're going to talk about is what we like about it and some things we don't like, and maybe some things that we would like to see in the future. So let's start out with what we like about it. So, Xbox Game Pass, Mark and I are both subscribers to the service. I think I speak for both of us when I say it's a really good service.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And what I like about it best is the simplicity and the variety and the amount of games you can pick up. For the price, even if you're paying full retail, so we're both Game Pass Ultimate. And the Ultimate actually includes Xbox Live Gold, so that's your ability to play online. The Xbox gaming console version of Game Pass, as well as PC. And we use it a lot because we game weekly with Game Pass games on PC.
It's really been a game changer, specifically because we got, friends that don't actually have an Xbox console. So it's really nice to have that added feature of basically the crossplay with the PC. I mean, that's been a lifesaver with people that just don't have the Xbox.
Yeah, and that's a great topic that I'll jump in terms of something we really love is for the PC, if you've got a group of friends, you now have a built-in base of games that you can all just download.
Right.
And if you don't like the game, you play something else the next week because you didn't pay $60 for that game.
Yeah, you're not beholden to a certain game, and you're not gonna feel like you got shortchanged if you all go in on a game and you end up, not liking it. With Game Pass, it doesn't matter at all. You just switch to a new game. Hey, this one didn't work out this week. Let's go to a new one. It's great.
And we've done that a bunch of times, over the last couple years. So game selection too, when it gets down to it, even before Bethesda,
Oh, jeez.
it was still great games coming out day one.
Yeah, you're saying before Bethesda. And I thought it was great even before they did add all the EA games as well, a lot of EA stuff as well. So, and now Ubisoft, they just keep adding stuff. It's incredible. They just keep adding it. I'm not sure how big the collection is now because some come in and some leave. Like any streaming service, like a TV show will come and go on a streaming platform. But it's over 100 games. It might be up to 200. I'm not too sure, but it's a pretty big collection.
I think they advertise 100 plus.
That's what I'm. Yeah, 100 plus, but which
it's
is
always changing.
Yeah, because who knows how much it is. I'm not going to go through and count every single one.
Yeah,
I could, but I won't.
I forgot about EA Access too, adding that in there. It's just.
I think it was before the Bethesda announcement that EA, announced that they were going in, and you have all the EA stuff and a lot of Ubisoft stuff as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. This may not even be a hot take, but I believe, in my opinion, it's the best deal in gaming.
Yeah, I would agree that it's definitely the best deal in gaming right now, and you could see how the competitors have kind of tried to keep up with them. Nintendo has their thing, their online service, and PlayStation has. I'm going to be honest. I don't know too much about the PlayStation one, but it seems like it's kind of similar, kind of going off the back of the Xbox Game Pass. But once again, it's just I think this is kind of like the future of gaming for a lot of people. I don't see myself going back from this way of doing it.
Yeah, I think personally for me, I will be a Game Pass subscriber for the foreseeable future, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just too much value here right now for
Yeah.
especially for people. Um, I would maybe say I wouldn't say we're old, but for guys, people in their mid 30s, early 30s, or even if in your 20s, people with more disposable income and not a lot of time, it's a lot easier to game this way as opposed to dropping $50, $60 on a title
Yeah,
and
not even knowing if that title's great.
not even know if it is great. And it's just nice because some people don't finish games. So it's nice to just come in and just play for an hour or 2 hours. You didn't lose anything if you never play it again. It's never lost anything. So
Yeah, I agree. So in terms of like what we like about Game Pass, I think the easy answers are value.
yeah, what is it still?
Um,
It's still only $15, right?
yeah, I think it's 14.99 a month for the ultimate.
Oh
So if
yeah,
you
okay,
don't
yeah.
have PC, I mean, it's even better deal because I think it's like maybe 10, 11, $12 for the just Xbox One.
They still have like Xbox Live Gold, right? That's different too, isn't it?
You can still buy gold, I think, but it's like they're trying to make it like not worth your time.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm just like, why would anybody even have gold, right? When you could
Yeah.
just and because you have the Gamer Pass, you already have gold, so we're already getting what is it, 3 free games every month?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, which of course is, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to a free game because then you
Yeah.
just download it, even if you never play it, you just download it and you have it forever in your gamer profile for Xbox,
Yep.
which
And getting those day one releases of every Microsoft, which includes Bethesda
hmm
and many other studios, to get those day one releases is just crazy.
yeah. The newest one that they just announced is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, Shredder's Revenge, the side-scrolling beat 'em up. That's I just looked that up. That's day one because I wanted to make sure. I'm just like, oh man, this is awesome. Day one. I think Streets of Rage did that too. I don't know if maybe they
Yeah.
came later. Okay, or they were day one as well. But that's just so awesome, especially for like a side-scrolling beat 'em up to be a day one game where everyone can just kind of get in on it. Because some people, especially for a side-scrolling beat 'em up game, I think a lot of people might have a problem with dropping 40, $50 on it. But if it's on Game Pass, of course you'd play it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And so it's just great value. So let's move on. Let's talk about some things that are not where they need to be. Maybe they can improve. Maybe something that's just gives us a bad experience. And I'll bring up the first one, which to me is the easy one, which is the streaming is just not very good.
Elaborate on that. I'd like to know your opinion on it.
So for me, streaming is the future. I think it's an amazing opportunity.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I think I get more upset about it. Because for me, I think it's amazing to be able to just play the game instead
Yeah.
of having to wait for it to install. But also, maybe you just don't have the hardware to physically play it and you want to
Right.
just do it, or you're on the go. So I think streaming is really the future. And for me, my experience, maybe others have a better experience, but I have a really good internet connection and it just runs like crap. It's unplayable actually to me.
Yeah. I know a couple times I've tried to stream the game and it's very stuttery. You're definitely off.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. And I mean, and just with something like that, some latency or a couple seconds behind could totally screw you up in a game and just take
Yeah.
you out of it completely.
To me, it makes it unplayable. And
Yeah.
it's also, even when the game is running well enough, the input latency, in my experience, is unplayable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't know what it's going to take to fix that. And maybe it is my internet. Others out there, they might have a better experience. It's just something on me, but I've done it on my T-Mobile connection as well as my fiber home internet, and I've had the same experience where it's just it's bad enough that for me it's unplayable.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't do it that often at where I live. I tried it a few times at my brother's place, and it just didn't. Which would probably be the similar internet to what you have, but it didn't work out well at all. And for me, it probably doesn't seem like a big issue for me because I don't do it that much. But I get what you're saying. Um, I guess. Do you think a lot of people are doing it, trying to do it that way now, trying to stream gaming? And I don't know.
Well,
I've always been a download guy.
yeah, well, just looking at what Microsoft is doing, they just announced they're releasing an app for smart TVs, so you can stream Xbox Game Pass on any smart TV,
Okay.
and they're releasing a stick. That again, same thing. It's just gonna be streaming because obviously the stick wouldn't be powerful enough to run the games.
Right.
So, and that's a huge market. I mean, how many people don't have a gaming PC, don't have an Xbox, but they'll pay $15 a month to play AAA games?
I think a lot of people would do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so it's, and I don't know if it's internet or if it's something on their side. I'm not sure, but that's one of the things for me. The other one, I don't like the PC app.
No, I'm actually happy that you brought that up because I would have forgotten about that. I kind of hate it.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
just,
bad.
yeah. I mean, yeah, man. I'm glad you brought that up because I have so many problems with that thing. It just so many issues where it just doesn't work or things
Yep.
go wrong. I mean, I can't even really specify certain things because it just screws up all the time.
Yep.
And,
Games
and it
either error
makes no
out.
sense. It makes no sense
Yeah.
either. It's like there's no understanding for it. And they come up with that little screen that says, "Are you satisfied with this app?" I'm like, "No, not satisfied."
Yeah. And I actually
Ugh.
have an even worse, like, they finally fixed it now, but I got my Series X day one launch. And I actually use remote play in my house on a good fair basis. I have my Series X in the living room, and then I'll play on my PC in the office. I find that's a good experience. And when they released the Series X, the app did not support remote play on the Series X. And it took a year. And what they did, they actually made it worse because what they did is they made a new Xbox app halfway through the cycle. So let's say 6 months after the Series X was released, they made a new Xbox app and just removed remote play.
Because they couldn't handle it. They're just like,
Yeah,
screw this.
they just literally removed it.
Rip it out.
And
Too many
so
people are complaining.
I actually downloaded a beta version of the remote play app that allowed me to remote play to my Series X.
Oh, really?
Now finally the app has been updated to allow that. But it was just really frustrating because I just bought this brand new console and they didn't have the app up to date to match it. Like that's a disconnect in the company.
Well, I mean, there's so many things like that are going on in gaming. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a whole other can of worms where they release things that just aren't ready, and they always say
Yep.
beta this and beta that.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I mean, you and I are old school where, we got the cartridge and everything was in the cartridge. It's just like
Yep.
you're not adding anything to it. But anyway, I mean, for me, my difficulties were, I mean, specific games would seem to have issues like Marvel's Avengers, when we were playing that one. Every time that game needed an update on the Xbox Game Pass PC app, I had to reinstall the game every single time because I would get an error code and I had to reinstall it every single time. And I'm looking up how to fix it and there's like no answers. It literally just makes no sense. And I mean, there's another time we were playing Sea of Thieves and when I would try to go to a different game like let's say Halo or State of Decay or something, it would keep loading up Sea of Thieves. when I'm clearly clicking on something else. And it's just like, what the heck is going on here? It's just, it needs work. It definitely needs work. I mean, did they say if it's still in a beta phase? I mean, I know originally it was like they said it was. I think they said the Xbox PC app was a beta, or is it supposed to be completed?
So there is a production build. You can like I'm part of the beta experience, so I do get an early version of updates to the app.
Oh, do you?
So,
Okay, I
yeah,
didn't
so
know
there are
that.
some things that are better in that. And they have different levels, so you can do standard, you can do stable early release, and you can do like testing. So I'm the stable. So I just get like the early release that's still stable, and I get
Oh,
some better use out of that. I want to
oh,
go back to you talked about updating games in the app
uh-oh. Yeah.
because you glossed over that too quickly. Okay. So Marvel's Avengers needed an update. And then let's say it was a 3 gig update. And it would
Yeah,
just wouldn't work and you had to uninstall and reinstall the game.
yeah, every
Now when
time.
you uninstall and reinstall a game on Game Pass, you have to re-download that game.
Yeah.
And Marvel's Avengers is a 125 gig game.
Yeah, yeah. I did gloss over it. That's no little bitty game there. That's your big hoss game.
Yep.
That's
And I couldn't even tell you the timing, but I feel like that's over an hour.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't like time it exactly or anything like that. I was mad. I just go storm off and do
Yep.
something else. But it's just like, yeah, it was at least an hour, maybe, probably
Yeah.
more.
So for the listeners out there, basically the game needs to update. The update doesn't work, and then you cannot play now for
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. And the thing was, that happened every single time with Marvel's Avengers, but I'm not. But it did happen with a couple other games
Yeah,
as
Sea of
well.
Thieves has
Yeah,
done it before.
yeah, it definitely happened with Sea of Thieves, where I had to re-download everything.
Yep.
And it wasn't just me. I don't know if it ever. I think it happened to you.
Yep.
I know it happened to a couple of our other friends.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. So that's another problem with the app. Uh, we could talk all day about the app. So we'll
Yeah.
keep moving forward. But so
Yeah.
things we don't like, right? So we've talked about the app and we've talked about how streaming is kind of a disappointment. Is there anything else specific you want to talk about in terms of stuff we don't like?
The only other thing that I can think of that, I mean, it really isn't. It really isn't a big complaint. Um, Sometimes there's games on here that they're only on for a little bit of time and then they take them off. I know it's not realistic. I just wish all the games would stay on, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, they go away sometimes. I remember, what was it? Red Dead Online was on for just a little bit. I think that was just to give people like a sneak peek,
Yeah.
and then they pulled it, and they've pulled other games as well that like I enjoyed playing. But I know that's kind of an unrealistic complaint, but that's really the only other thing I can think of right now. For the most part, it's pretty positive on my end.
Well, maybe they can even like have those in like a special section that
Well, okay,
says
yeah.
this won't always be here because I agree with you. It sucks when a game leaves because it's like
They give
you,
you ample time. Like
yeah,
they say this is leaving in like a month, so
yeah,
they do give you time. Like if you want to beat the game or play it a bit more or something. And once again, I kind of understand for like certain games that maybe aren't Microsoft exclusives. It's just like, well, maybe they just want to tease you with the game, let you play it for free for a little bit, and then if you really like it, you'll buy it somewhere else. I don't know, but it's a mild complaint.
yeah. Okay, so good, the bad. Let's talk about what we want to see in the future for Game Pass. So let's leave out the stuff we
Simulator.
already talked about, right? So we want them to fix the app, of course. We want them to make streaming better. But let's talk about the other future things that we would love to see from Game Pass. I'll let you go first, Mark.
Oh, I mean, I think maybe you talked over when I said it, but more Farming Simulator. I want every year of Farming Simulator. Farming Simulator as far back as it goes, from 2020. I'm sorry.
Sarcasm, people. That was sarcasm.
Oh, what else? Where else could they go with Game Pass? Obviously, um, I mean, obviously, the greedy part of me just wants to say more games. Um, it'd be nice if like they did. Well, they kind of do it, like maybe spotlights of like indie games and stuff like that. I do actually think that they might do that, which that's kind of nice. Um, I think crossplay is like a big thing for me. I do notice. Uh, okay, this is definitely something I want for Game Pass. There's some games that are on Game Pass on that are not on the PC version. Um,
Ooh, yeah, yep.
they're not on the PC, so I can download. You and I could play something on the Xbox together, but our friends that are on PC, um, they have to download it through Steam or something, and then we have to cross play through that, which it gets a little messy. Xbox and PC crossplay. It depends on the game, but it can get a
Sometimes it
little.
just doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work, and I don't know. There's some disconnect sometimes with games that I have on the console, and then it's just I can't get it on the PC if I want to play it on the PC, or they're almost like separate. Like here's an example: Dead by Daylight. Like I have an account on Dead by Daylight for my Xbox. Uh, Nothing transfers over to the PC version of that game that I play through the PC app.
Ooh,
And I don't know if there's other games that are like that, but that one kind of bothers me. It's just like, well, I have to pick or choose which one that I'm exclusively going to play, because anything that I purchase or buy in Dead by Daylight, I'm not going to buy it for what I on the PC as well as the
yeah.
Xbox. So it doesn't transfer over. Where a lot of the game, I will give it the benefit of the doubt, a lot of games do transfer over the data. As you know that because you and I both played State of Decay 2, and you can go back and forth on PC and Xbox, and it's seamless.
Yeah,
It's
I
seamless.
wanted to jump in there because that's something we forgot to talk about. That's amazing on Game Pass. Cloud saves.
Yes,
So
yes,
you can play on your Xbox, your PC, your mobile, streaming, everything, and they all instantly sync up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say for the most part, and for most games, it's pretty good. I think State of Decay, that's a Microsoft studio that does that game, so I think they understand it. But maybe like the third parties don't really get
Yeah.
involved there.
And
That's
that's
more difficult.
I agree with you. For me, um, I want more synergy. So I would, in a perfect world,
Great word.
every game would have crossplay.
Yeah. Yes, in a perfect world, yes.
Every game would have crossplay. And I'm talking crossplay between PlayStation. I'm
Switch,
talking
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, why not, guys? Let's all work together. Everyone makes money.
Yeah.
Like, I
Let's
want to
all
be able to
hold
play.
hands, sing
Yep.
Kumbaya. It doesn't matter if you're Nintendo, it doesn't matter if you're Sony, it doesn't matter if you're Microsoft. Let's all
Yep. Let's all
get
play together.
together.
Yep.
I
And,
think
eh,
Microsoft is kind of on board with that from
yes.
what I've seen.
It's getting everybody else to follow suit, but I want more games crossplay. Obviously, selfishly, I want just more games, right? I'm super
Yeah.
excited for the future of Game
Yeah.
Pass, and the more games that we can get available on that service, I'm all for. I 100% agree with you that games that are console only, bring it to PC. Let's go. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I
I
mean,
mean, they're basically the
yeah.
Xbox console and a PC.
Yep.
How different are they, really?
And they already have, like, to play original Xbox and Xbox 360 games on your Series X. It launches an emulation software. Why can't they give that to you on your PC?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a good point. See, that's why there is definitely some lagging between the console and PC, and I do hope and think that they will improve that in the future, as long as if they keep getting input from us.
Yeah, I think Microsoft has had a really good vision and answer to those backwards compatibility and access issues. I think they're all on board. And I'm not trying to say they're the good guy, because they're just doing it to make money, right?
Right.
That's all this is. It's just other people, Sony and Nintendo,
Yeah.
are not. They
Yeah.
are doing anti-consumer things.
Yeah, this isn't hero worship on our
No.
part for Microsoft. It's just I've had some problems with Microsoft in the past. I'm just saying that they're kind of doing the right thing right now, where the industry
Yes.
needs to go.
At this moment, at this time, they are
Yes.
making the right decision.
Yes, right now, today.
Yep. They
This
will make bad decisions in the future. It will
yeah,
happen.
it might happen
Anti-consumer,
yeah,
but
could happen a week
yeah.
from now. Who knows?
All right. So I think we covered a lot.
Yeah,
We can both say Game Pass is amazing.
it really is. Yeah.
Today, it's the best deal in gaming for me. I believe that wholeheartedly. I just can't imagine. I hope Sony releases a great service like this, because competition's always good.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So,
I think that's why Nintendo has kind of have been doing what they're doing. It's different, but it's
yeah.
it's different. But
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of the companies are kind of seeing what Microsoft is doing and kind of want to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah. Microsoft is becoming a software company again,
Yeah, finally.
right? So, I got to say again, because they started out, I should say Xbox is becoming a software company.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mark, thank you so much for coming on the podcast with me today. This is a great conversation. I hope that Game Pass continues on this train and continues getting better and giving us good content.
Yeah. I love talking about games. Bring me back anytime. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We will have, I think our next video might be about Red Dead Online. I
Oh
think
boy.
that's going to be
Oh
a good one. There's a lot
God.
of fun stuff to talk about in there.
Yeah. Like I got turned into a UFO. Okay.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.